Headlines by Drake here on 98.5 WNUW. That's just something they know. You know what else they know? We got Luigi and Owen on the air for the kickoff. It was an extremely eventful weekend for soccer, but first I want to ask you, Luigi, how you doing, my friend?
Doing good. How about you, Owen?
I'm hanging in there. Chelsea's going through the ringer right now, but that's just that. That's just life. Not as bad as Tottenham, right?
Yeah. Hey, the international break is around, so maybe this week, 2 weeks, maybe they can put some, figure out some.
We do need the international break. We need as much time as we can get off because we just got clobbered in the UCL, the UEFA Champions League, for those that don't know what that acronym is. Now, we want to get right into the Champions League because last week we left people with a glimmer of hope. We let them believe that Bodo Glimt could beat Sporting and move on to the next round, probably the first time in that team's history that they've made it this far. We thought they could make it even further.
Mm-hmm.
And Luigi, what happened?
Sporting pulled off a remontada, won 5-0, 3-0 in the first 90 minutes, then went to extra time, 5-0. I was surprised because, listen, Bodo, when you win 3-0 in the first leg, no matter what, I think you should really be coming home or come away. Even if you lose 2-0, you should still be moving on to the next round. But, hey, listen, Sporting came on. I was watching the game. They were attacking the entire game. Bodo Glimt, I don't think, were able to bring the ball past their own midfield. Sporting was smothering them in their own half, and, hey, it clearly prevailed.
For those that don't know, Bodo Glimt is actually a very small club. Mm-hmm. They're from Norway. They're a Norwegian club, and a couple of those players do play on the Norwegian national team, and we hope to see some more success from Norway moving forward because they have the likes of Holland, Odegaard, Sorloth. They have some real players over there, but none of them are on this Bodo Glimt team, and perhaps that was their undoing. They didn't have enough star power. They didn't have enough firepower. They weren't prepared for Sporting, who has more experience in not only the Champions League, but in all the big tournaments. They seem to be at the top of the Portuguese league every single year, qualifying for everything. But all that said, it's still soccer. It's still may the best man win, and unfortunately, Bodo did not bring it. Moving on from that game, we want to talk about Chelsea real quick. I don't want to go too much into it, but my take on the whole thing is that it's more than just the center backs. I think the team is unraveling from within. Mm-hmm. We haven't trusted a manager in a long time, probably not since Lampard got us that UCL. Tuchel, probably not since Tuchel got us that UCL. Mm-hmm. And then, we thought that Lampard was going to be some sort of solution, and he never got the respect from the players. And, now we have
Rossignol.
We had Rossignol in there because Maresca came in and we were just stagnant. We didn't go up or we didn't progress or go down.
Sad to see because all he wanted, the reason why he got sacked was because he went on the media and said he wanted a competent center back, which when you look at it now, was he wrong for asking for a competent center back?
He was totally right.
And going into this game in which, Chelsea lost 0-3 to PSG, you can tell that there's many problems besides goalkeeping. Because, we touched base on Sanchez and Jorgensen, but, this defense, but my thing is with Rossignol is, why are you playing, Mamadou Sarr, his first game is, he's starting in the Champions League. You haven't used him all, since he came back from loan on Strasbourg.
Against the champions, against, one of the best teams in the world right now.
And you're putting against Kvaratskhelia, one of the best wingers, top 5 wingers in the world. And then look what happened within 5 minutes of the game. Kvar got the ball after an error by Sarr, and he went and scored.
Kvar is, as the people know, he is a winger for PSG, Georgian, but came from your squad, Napoli. Mm-hmm. So you know all about it. He's 5-star, great skiller, can use both feet. Chelsea did have more shots in the game. Possession was split 50-50. But just an ugly, ugly performance overall. Like we said, it starts at the back. Sanchez is not good with his feet. He's very athletic, but he's not good with his feet. The other goalie, Jorgensen, the only good performances I've seen from Jorgensen came in the Conference League.
Last season.
Does that even count? Those teams weren't that good.
Playing against teams that the players have second jobs.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, these guys are like actual, carpenters and electricians and stuff. And then they play for their squad and they make it to the Conference League and they get to score on Jorgensen. But, back to the center back thing. It's just the team is unraveling. They don't trust the manager, but we don't have a good center back. We haven't had one since 2023. I was talking to Josh from the soccer team here very briefly today because he's another Chelsea guy. And he agreed with me, brother. We have not had one since
Rudiger.
Well, after him, we still had Thiago Silva, who kind of held it down a little bit. But, yeah, dude, I saw a tweet at UCL squad and about how Romelu Lukaku knew that they were going to win that UCL because they walked in, and in the tunnel, they were stoic. Everybody was still. Everybody was ready to go. They weren't bouncing around. They weren't stretching. They weren't getting the nervous energy out like Man City was. They were all locked in. And the first three people in that picture, Edouard Mendy, Tony Rudiger, and N'Golo Kante. The three reasons that we won that UCL, and we let them all walk right after. We let them all walk. So, look, Chelsea are in a tough spot. They dropped to 6th in the Premier League table. We'll talk about the Prem in a little bit, but first we got to move on from that game in the UCL.
To another England club. Arsenal beat Leverkusen 2-0. And we'll get into another goalkeeping situation later on, but yeah, Arsenal, they got the win. I mean, it was kind of expected against Leverkusen.
Leverkusen didn't necessarily
They weren't bad.
Too poorly, they just couldn't convert.
Yeah, they weren't bad. They had their chances, but they didn't really, convince. Like their shot selection wasn't the best, but
right. Yeah, you need to bury your chances when you get them against Arsenal. I think Leverkusen had a chance on a corner where they were very, very close. And
you see that Eberechi Eze goal?
That's what I was just going to say. The issue with Arsenal has never been, can they bring in technically gifted players? That's never been the issue. They always seem to find guys like that. Yeah. The issue is always, can they get it done when the going gets rough, when they start to drop in form late in the season? Well, we saw plenty of the skill on display in that game. Eberechi Eze, one of the best signings they could have made from Crystal Palace.
And keep in mind, he was dropped at one point for Odegaard, which, I don't get what Arteta was seeing because Eze should be playing week in, week out over Odegaard.
Now Odegaard's dropped for Havertz.
Exactly.
It's like that guy Kai Havertz, man. I loved him at Leverkusen. I liked him for a little bit at Chelsea when he was doing his thing. A lot of times he wasn't doing his thing. But then when he went to Arsenal, it seems like he's really found his footing.
He's found his footing a little bit. I just think also his positioning over the years has been like all over the place. Like sometimes you'll see him as like a center forward and attacking mid.
He could play on the wing.
Sometimes he was playing right wing.
Yeah.
I think his ideal position is behind the striker as like a cam.
I agree.
I don't really see him as like, unless you're doing false nine, but even then I don't see him as a false nine. Like he's built like a false nine, but doesn't have like the goal-scoring prowess of a 9.
He does finish for them, though. He's on their pens.
Yeah.
He does finish when he has to. But, yeah, I would have to agree with you there on that assessment of Kai Havertz. Nonetheless, Arsenal, moving on. Arsenal will take on Sporting. That game is kicking off next week, April 7th.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. International break. Sorry, forgot already. International break's coming. 2 weeks, April 7th at 3 p.m. And PSG advancing to face Liverpool, who took down Galatasaray.
Yeah. Before the Liverpool, I just want to close out on the Tuesday, March 17th games. Man City lost 1-2 to Real. It's basically a given because, Real was already 3-0 up. Vinicius had a brace, started clowning the Man City fans at the end when he scored. But, yeah. Now going into the Wednesday, March 18th games, like you were saying, Liverpool, we counted them out. I won't lie, I counted them out. Listen, they played really good that game. And you know why they played really good?
Dominic Szoboszlai.
But you know what else?
What's that?
Gakpo was not starting.
Oh yeah.
Gakpo was not starting.
We were talking a lot of smack on Cody Gakpo. Yeah.
Hey, listen.
But we were right. I mean,
Hey, listen, I don't know if you know who Jonathan Morley is or Anfield Agenda, like those Liverpool, like they're really popular in the Liverpool world. Mm-hmm. They do not rate Cody Gakpo at all. They say, like, look at the difference when Cody Gakpo isn't and when Cody got... Mm-hmm.
I've seen him before, yeah.
And Cody Gakpo plays and doesn't play. Liverpool clearly plays better without him, and Ekitike had gone down at the weekend, but it's nothing serious. But in the game, Liverpool were just dominating.
Absolutely. 28 shots, 16 on target.
Like
They didn't let him breathe.
Yeah, and the Galatasaray goalkeeper, it sounds controversial, but he was low-key man of the match. He made a lot of saves in that game.
I know.
Like, he did all he could. He's probably the only guy in that stadium who can walk with his head held high because he did all he could.
Check here. Yeah.
And then, of course, 2 ex-Napoli players, Osimhen and Noah Long, got hurt in the game. Apparently, Long nearly got his thumb detached, his thumb popped out, this part here.
Oh, man.
He was rushed to the hospital. Apparently, Galatasaray is trying to sue Liverpool because of that. But
was it somebody got stepped on, or
no? It's something in Liverpool's. So where the ball boys stand behind that barrier.
Oh! I remember.
Yeah,
I remember. He after a play, he went out of bounds, and then he came up hurt, and he laid down, and he was holding his hand. Yeah,
exactly.
I remember. So I was like, why is he holding his hand? Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. I was like, this guy probably just broke his hand. Yeah. But okay, so and Galatasaray is looking to take legal action.
Seek legal action because it was someone with the stadium and whatnot.
Player safety.
Safety.
Yeah, how about it? Yeah, well, Liverpool moving on nonetheless. A dominant performance. Goals coming from Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, Salah, and Ekitike. Yeah, Salah had a banger. Beautiful. Yeah. Just when you thought he was falling off, he scores a banger.
He did miss a pen that game too.
He did. That's right. Yeah, Shaqiri had a save on the pen too. Mm-hmm. He really had a great game.
Yeah.
But they'll be taking on PSG. Barcelona almost Brazil to Newcastle.
Yeah, they almost avenged their 8-2 from Bayern. There was just one less goal, but
whenever I would beat people in FIFA, if I was beating them real good, I might let them get a couple so I can make it 8-2. Yeah. Hit him with the message, I'd 8-2 be you right now, mate. That's a classic one right there.
Yeah,
the FIFA heads know that one.
Yeah, no, Barca dominated the game. There's even in the first half, could have been a little different had maybe a sort of controversial call gone Newcastle's way.
I thought that was a pen. I thought that he pulled him just enough to constitute a pen, and I saw something on Twitter that said if this happened to Barcelona,
he probably would have
Real
called
Madrid,
it. They would have called it. They would have called it.
There's without a doubt.
They would have 100% called it. However,
Trippier didn't help them at the other end by yanking
him, and surprisingly,
was it Rodrigo? I can't remember. Trippier committed the pen. He pulled the player back. Not smart.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he wasn't given a red card for that because he was
on the goal line. Yeah,
that was the textbook denial of a clear and obvious goal scoring opportunity. But it didn't. At the end of the day, I don't think it would have mattered much because they ended up Newcastle started making some silly errors and they kind of let Barcelona take the game away from them.
Yeah, the performance by Anthony Elanga in that first half should not be forgotten. 2 goals. He played great. Man, he's an electric player. So quick down that wing.
He needs to be more consistent, though.
Swedish international. I agree. He does need to be more consistent, like his other Swedish boy, Isak, who just is half the player that Ekitike is since they both joined the club.
Yeah. Ekitike, Isak supposedly supposed to join after the break. He should be ready for the PSG, but for the PSG fixtures, but I don't know if he'll be much. But we'll see when the time comes.
We wish him well. For a tall man, he's very, very skilled on the ball. Mm-hmm. A lot of those tall guys, they don't have a lot of balance. They're more hold-up guys. He is very skilled, so we wish him well.
He scores 20 goals in the Prem. It's not easy to score 20 goals in the Prem, unless you're Haaland, but
Yeah, I know, right? Haaland's in a drought, and he's still at 22. That guy's crazy.
And he's still leading.
Igor Thiago, though, right behind him.
At 19.
Got the call up to Brazil.
Yep.
So one more Premier League team to cover in the UCL.
Tottenham 2 more games. Yeah.
Tottenham gave Atletico Madrid actually a tough game. They ended up falling 7-5 on aggregate. Atletico Madrid will advance. But Tottenham at home spent all their money on that big stadium. They beat Real Madrid 3-2. Any takeaways from that game?
Atletico, yeah.
Atletico Madrid.
Yeah,
Madrid on the brain.
Yeah. I think it would have been better if they just had lost because No, listen. At the weekend, I'll explain it because at the weekend, what happened, it'll explain much more. But I think this game is a complete illusion. This game was an illusion for the Tottenham fans because what was the point of beating Atletico? Like, at that point, just forfeit, just throw your, put the academy kids in. Like, don't worry about the Champions League. Worry about the Prem because that's the bigger thing at worry here because your stay in the Prem doesn't seem like, this Champions League fixture should have just been forgotten. Should have just rotated instead of going out and trying to win this. Because even if you were going to win it, you were going to play Barcelona. You're not going to make it far.
Exactly. Yeah, Barcelona is one of the most informed teams in the world right now. Yeah. Tottenham not proving much by beating Atletico Madrid at home. I would say, you started to make a point about what they're doing in the Prem. We'll get into that in just a moment. But you also said it was an illusion, and it sounded like you were kind of implying that they wasted some enduring. It requires energy to play against one of the best teams in Europe, right?
Exactly.
It requires a lot of focus. You give your all every time you're out there during the week. Then you have to bring your best guys on the weekend. So
exactly.
You make
that needs to be given on the weekend in the Prem right now because you're putting your heart on the Champions League in a competition that you won't go far in is just like I said, an illusion, a waste of energy. And then in the last game, it was Bayern Munich 4, Atalanta 1. Man. I mean,
finishing 10-1 on aggregate. 10-2 on. I forgot they scored in that first game. 10-2 on aggregate.
For
those wondering that don't know what that means, it's 2 games, and the away goals count more. But if you add the 2 games together, the 2 results, they play at Bayern's place, they play it at Atalanta's place combined on aggregate. They smacked them. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, there's not much to analyze here. The game was already over. Like, with all due respect to Atalanta, I'm not saying, I'm going to hate on them because they're from Italy, but there's not much to analyze. I will admit, I would have expected just a little bit more of a competitive game or, a little bit more fight from them, at least in the first leg. But, again, when you give up that many goals, you can't really ask for much. And you know what? I give them credit. They did make a comeback in, the first thing when they played against Borussia Dortmund. So I think they did enough, but it just kind of shows how lacking Italy teams are in the Champions League. But
yeah, I saw something saying, "Oh, look at these Premier League squads. They all got smashed. This is the best league in the world? Clown league, farmers league, blah blah blah." It's bro, Madrid's in it every year. Barca's in it every year. PSG is in it every year. Bayern is in it every year. Obviously, those teams are the best teams in Europe. We're not going to be able to, the Premier League teams are not going to be able to match up with them unless it's a Liverpool, unless it's a Man City. And even Man City, they dropped the points to Real Madrid. Real Madrid has the best 11 in the world, usually every single year. As far as money, talent, it's just a matter of if they can all play together.
And if they're not the best, they're top 5 or second best. So they're always up there.
It's just ridiculous that people, obviously it's all trolling, but it's all fans from those leagues love to crap on the Premier League. Look at all these teams. And it's what did you just say? All. What was the word you just used? All. 6 teams. 6 Prem teams make it to the knockout stage.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. It's one of the best leagues in the world, if not the best. Oh, but they lost, so... But it's dude, look, the people that are left, Atletico, Barca, Real Madrid, Bayern, they're there Arsenal and Liverpool are still left, but people, I'm so sick and tired of it. The Premier League gets a lot of flack, and a lot of people are online taking the mick out of them. And I mean, look, I'm not gonna make fun of Serie A, but only Atalanta was left.
Yeah.
And they got smashed, but you won't hear a peep about that. You know what I mean?
No.
Or you won't hear a peep about the French league when it's literally just PSG every year.
Exactly.
It's whatever, dude. Standards for thee, not me. That's whatever. So next week, 2 weeks, April 7th, 3 o'clock, you got Real Madrid Bayern. Right after that, you got Sporting Arsenal. The next day, April 8th, same deal, 3 o'clock. You got Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and then you got PSG and Liverpool. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do the predictions now.
Okay.
We'll go into the Premier League in the next segment, but I want to tackle these games first. We'll start off right there. They're going to the Bernabeu. Bayern is Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. Luigi, what do you see coming out of that game?
Okay. It might be controversial.
Okay.
I got Bayern taking that.
The series or this?
The series.
Okay.
I got him taking the series. I generally think Bayern. Like, I don't know. I don't think Carreras.
That's a lot.
I don't think Carreras or Garcia has what it takes to lock down Olise. And Luis Diaz is going against his former teammate, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Like, Luis Diaz will read him like a book.
Oh, 100%.
Then the defense for Madrid is injury-ridden. Huijsen and Rudiger will try and keep Kane at bay. But I generally think that
Harry Kane's in good form right now.
Harry Kane's in good form. And they also got like Leonard Carl.
Also scored last game, yeah.
Granted, Real Madrid has some really good players, but I think it depends on like who's playing. Because when Mbappe wasn't playing, they looked really good. The positioning, the movement of the ball, the passes they were making, it looked fluid. With Mbappe on, I don't know if that fluidity will be brought into the game if he's going to flood the wings when like he's supposed to be up front. And I think Jonathan Tah, Upamecano, Kim and Jae, they have experience. They played a couple years ago against them, so they got a little bit of experience. Plus, Upamecano is Mbappe's French team teammate. So,
yep.
I think they got a good basis of how to stop him, or like at least attempt to stop him.
Okay.
Plus, having Neuer in goal, he can bail you out. And Courtois, I'm pretty sure he's missing the legs too of injury.
We'll double check on that real quick, but we like Bayern. Luigi saying he likes Bayern coming out on top.
I like Bayern coming out on top.
I think the way I see it, I think Barcelona and Real Madrid are inevitable. I think when it comes down to it, if the game is still close and there's a call, it's going to go Madrid's way.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
If there's a pen that may or may not be a pen, whether Bayern fouls somebody, and Barcelona gets a lot of ref help, and there was a lot of controversy that came out a couple years ago. That's why they keep popping up in my head.
Well, with the referee paying.
Yeah, the referee paying. Yeah. It's not nearly as bad as Madrid, though. You look back at these Madrid games, and it's like, you know what I mean? But, anyway, focusing back on this game here. If it comes down to it, the penalty will go Madrid's way. Mm-hmm. A penalty for Bayern will not get called. Exactly. So I think that will give them the edge. I think we see a tie at the Bernabeu in the first leg, and I think we see a buzzer beater winner for Madrid
in Munich. Okay.
I think this next game, 2 weeks, is going to be pure cinema. But I predict like a 2-2 with a lot of yellow cards, and then I like Madrid to beat Bayern in their own place. I think So I got Madrid moving forward. Luigi's got Bayern. Oh. The other game on April 7th, Sporting. Arsenal. Look, I'll go first. I like Arsenal. I think they're going to beat them 2-0 at their place, and I think they're going to beat them 4-0 at their own place. That's what I think.
Listen. I say Arsenal will probably qualify, and I back Arsenal.
Yeah.
But I won't say it will be too easy because I personally think Sporting will get a draw in the first leg.
Okay.
And then Arsenal kind of, just demolishes them at home.
Okay.
Like 2-3-0. Kind of how they did with Leverkusen.
And what's going on right now is the yearly drop in form. So it's like if they're not going to win as many games as they should outside of the UCL, are they able to keep the focus and stay within themselves and stay strong on this UCL run? I think if there's one team that they wanted to play coming in, it was Sporting. I think they got their matchup, and I agree. I think Arsenal will advance there.
It's favorable in comparison to the other games.
Oh,
to
for
say
sure.
the least.
For sure. It's definitely favorable. Next up on the list, a Spanish face-off. Barcelona, Atletico, and it's going to be at the Camp Nou on April 8th. Luigi, what are we thinking for this matchup?
That's so difficult because I don't know, man, because Barca and Atletico is so 50-50. Even this season, they face each other, I think, like 4 times. And, I think it's like a 2-2 split between them. God, this could really go either way. I'm going on the Griezmann bandwagon. Give me Atletico Madrid.
The Griezmann bandwagon is crazy. He's coming for revenge.
He's going to MLS at the end of the season. He's going to Orlando City.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, he loves America. He's a big NBA fan.
And NFL. And NFL.
And
too.
NFL. I didn't know he's an NFL guy too.
He is.
And Antoine Griezmann.
Hit him with the
Yeah, I love
the
that
hotline
one.
blink.
Bah, bah. That's one of the best celebrations.
Remember when
out
he
there.
hit the take the L on the Arsenal fans 2018? Yeah.
That was prime Fortnite then. Prime
Yeah.
Fortnite. Yeah. He's done a lot of fun sellies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the man.
Does like anime sellies too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Atletico Madrid to take it just because I feel like they could get like a 3-0 and then like, just like play haram ball and just have 12 men behind the ball.
Pretty apt observation. Hansi Flick is not afraid to employ horrifying tactics in the name of getting the win. I think everybody knows that. I respect that part of him because, well, Mourinho had that side of him too.
Yeah.
But I like Barca. Give me Barca. I'm going to play some devil's advocate. I'll go the opposite of what Luigi said there. Lamine Yamal, yes, he got pocketed by Lewis Hall, but then I saw more clips of him dribbling on Twitter, and he won me back over again. Yeah. So I'm going with the boy Lamine Yamal. Very strong on the ball, very hard to take off the ball. Pedri is the number one midfielder in the world. If it's not Valverde, it's Pedri. If it's not Pedri, it's Valverde. And Barca's a well-oiled machine. They're in form. I like Barca to tie one of the matches and give Atletico 4 or 5 goals in the other one. I'm not sure which yet, but I think we see like a 5-1 on aggregate there. I think that they're gonna impose their will. PSG, Liverpool. This is a toss-up for me. I don't know what to do with this one.
I kind of feel the quite opposite. I say PSG not just wins, demolishes them.
Really?
Like,
well, good. The only reason I say it is because at times PSG was vulnerable against Chelsea, and when were those times? The counter. Liverpool is known for always having one of the most blistering counters. Taking the ball and running with it. Their wingers, Diaz and Salah, very, very good with running with the ball, but then picking their head up and seeing what's in front of them. I think that a couple counters could get Liverpool a result or two.
It depends on who they have, though, because Salah has lost a bit of pace.
Yeah.
Ekitike, maybe. I think he's probably the main man. I mean, Gakpo, even if he does go on the break, he'll find a way to miss it.
It has to be Ekitike. It has to be.
And depending on where Szoboszlai is going to play, because you don't know what's going to happen with Liverpool. He's going to play right back, midfield, DM, attacking mid, left wing, right wing. Florian Wirtz, inexistent.
Dude,
you're basically playing with 10 players when you're playing with Florian Wirtz.
He creates, but he can't finish. This guy cannot score. I look at the odds before each game because Dominic Szoboszlai has been on a tear this year. So to score or assist, he's ahead of Wirtz.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And then he does it. And Wirtz, I was in the meeting room watching one of the games, and Wirtz is right in front of the goal. Inside the 6-yard line, the ball bounces to him, and he sends it over the net. That was the last game that they played in the UCL at home against Galatasaray. Yeah. I'm watching it in there, and I stood up out of my seat because I thought they were going to score.
But I also just think the main issue is Liverpool's defense. They don't have their defense is putrid. With all due respect, Robertson has fallen off. Kirkes really just isn't it.
Bro, he can't defend. I didn't even realize.
Van Dijk and Gomez, or Van Dijk and Konate, alongside Gomez, can't defend.
Konate's a bozo.
And then
that's a Chelsea-style center back right there.
Yeah. Then, the one actual decent right back, Connor Bradley, is out for the rest of the season. Jeremy Frimpong is just not at right back.
Big signing for Frimpong was, and he hasn't really done much.
He's been injured. I genuinely see, I'm not going to say a blowout, but I do see Dembele, Kvara, and Doué just having a field day with them.
Even at their own place, even at Anfield.
The first leg's in Paris, correct?
The first leg is in Paris, yeah. First leg is in Paris.
Depending on how the first leg goes, I could see them having a field day in both.
Okay.
Generally, I do not rate Liverpool's backline.
I don't
rate Liverpool's backline. I don't
either. Yeah.
The only thing I can somewhat rate is their offense, but it's really just Ekitike and Szoboszlai. The rest I do not rate. I do not rate Gakpo. I don't rate this version of Salah. Don't even get me started on Florian Wirtz. We'll get into that soon.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I do not back Liverpool. I think PSG has a field day.
I'm split 50-50, man. I'll ride with you. I'll go PSG. They just demolished Chelsea. Even when Chelsea had passages of play that were really good, and then, we snuck a goal. In the last 5 minutes, like we've been keeping possession really well, and then we got one over the top. We snuck a goal. PSG is right back down our throats the next time. So I'll ride with you on PSG. They're strong. They're quick. They're very technical on the ball. João Neves and Vitinha. It's tough to take them off the ball, man. They're very, very good at dribbling. So that's a built-up team right there. Yeah. That's going to do it for the UCL. Now, remember, that's not next week. That's the week after. April 7th, those games are going to be kicking off. There's a lot to cover in the Premier League. It was a crazy weekend. Something happened with the Carabao Cup. But first, we're going to go on a short break here on 98.5 WNUW. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Kickoff. Woo. Bow, 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 bow. That's Funny Thing by Thundercat here on 98.5 WNUW. If you're tuning in late, it is Owen and Luigi. We're on the air every Monday, 3 to 4:30-ish, however long it takes us, to talk about soccer or football. That's what they call it in England, football. We are listening to Funny Thing, and we got some more tunes coming up after this. But first, we got to talk about the Carabao Cup because there was a slightly unexpected result over the weekend. There was a young star that stole the show. Arsenal versus Man City. Luigi, you want to tell them what happened?
Arsenal bottled as per usual.
Bottled.
Apologize to the Arsenal fans listening. They lost 0-2, and Nico O'Reilly scored a brace. And, let's backtrack a little bit to the first half because, yes, Man City won, but Arsenal in the first half, they had some chances that, I guess left to squander. But, they weren't playing well. They were actually creating, having good chances. And, City's backup keeper, James Trafford, who, was supposed to be the starting keeper going into the season until they signed Donnarumma, had a really phenomenal game, made 4 to 5 good saves. He kept Arsenal at bay. Arsenal in the first half looked like the better team. Man City wasn't, they had some chances, but Man City, didn't, convince. Then in the second half, it flipped the switch. Arsenal just, I don't know what happened, if they went from 100 in energy, every single player went to 0. And then on the first goal that Man City scores, I want to know some. Kepa Arrizabalaga, Mr. 70 million goalkeeper. How do you let that soft cross go through your hands?
Look, having him at Chelsea for a little while, we got to see some of the good. It also means we got to see a lot of the bad.
A lot of bad.
Yeah, Kepa still, I don't think, is an S-tier goalkeeper. I don't think he's on the same level as some of these other guys that are at these top clubs. Alisson, Courtois, list goes on.
He ain't no S tier. He's like F tier, D tier.
Bro, he's terrible.
He's terrible.
No, he's not.
And his Carabao Cup final legacy lives on. In 2019, when he was at Chelsea, he refused to come off as a sub after he was injured, and then just did not save a single penalty in the final against Man City. 2022 against Liverpool, literally lets in every single penalty in. Even the goalkeeper's penalty. And then when he went to step up, blasted it into the stands. And then now this year, 2026, he's back at it again with the ball going through his hands. Nothing to take away from Man City and Nico O'Reilly, the birthday boy who scored a brace.
The young man played well on his 21st birthday.
Exactly. And, with that chance, they just kept on going. 4 minutes later, they scored again with a nice cross in the middle. Another header as well. And then towards the end, Ryan Cherky, I don't know if you saw the clip where he started juggling in the middle of the...
Yes. I love this guy, man. Yeah. I love Ryan Cherky.
They only got him for $35 million.
Bargain
of a signing.
True five-star. He's been at the top of world football since he burst onto the scene at Lyon, and they didn't want to let him go. They were hanging on to him, clutching him for as long as possible, and then they only got 35.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, I think that's a steal. That's a bargain. He's a crazy talent.
Lyon was kind of forced to sell him because they needed funds because they were going to go to the second tier because they were facing financial problems. So they had to make some money like that.
Right.
And I guess some teams took advantage of that, and
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
they got Cherokee on basically nothing. 35 million, especially for Man City, is nothing. But
what's his real price tag?
He's got to at least be worth 60 M's.
Are we approaching 100?
If he gets consistent, because he's not a consistent starter, and I think Pep needs to realize that he should be starting over players like Silva, Marmouche,
Yeah.
Doku, Foden. I mean,
Bro, Phil Frozen, bro.
Phil Frozen. I don't even think he played.
People will remember from last week your Phil Frozen.
Phil Frozen. I don't think, again, that's a discussion for another day. But I think Cherokee plays consistently, gets more minutes. I'm pretty sure he's in the French, call-ups as well.
Oh, yeah.
He'll definitely get there at one point.
He had scored an absolute banger for France, didn't he?
Yeah, it was against Spain.
Yeah.
I forget one, but it's it went almost top bins too.
That was a banger. Like I said, both feet, man. Right foot, left foot.
Hey, but one thing I wanted to touch on, Erling Haaland ghosting in finals.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what it is, but Haaland is not
Gabriel has his number. I mean, they hate each other, and he's able to throw him off his game in some of their bouts.
I don't know what it is, but even in just besides against Arsenal, even in the big games against Real, when City won the treble in those semifinals, the FA Cup final, the Champions League final, and even the big UCL knockout rounds, he's ghosting. And if he scores, it's a penalty. Nothing more than that. Which, you'd expect more from someone like Erling Braut Haaland, in my opinion, because yes, he can lead the goal-scoring charts, but, he had 22 goals in 20 games this season. Now he has 22 goals in 29 games. We had said I said in the last episode that he's not been the same this calendar year. And
no, he hasn't. Not at all.
I mean, and it's continuing into, this later part of the season where Man City really need him.
Especially if they're going to close in on Arsenal. Now, ESPN Soccer put out an article saying that they called Arsenal passive in the title. Man City beats passive Arsenal in Carabao Cup. And look, they're wanting to know if the title race is still on. And
it all depends on Arsenal.
Yes. I would say yes, it is. It 100% is still on. I mean, there's how many match we
7, 8 games left.
City has a game in hand.
Yeah.
City has a game in hand.
If they win that, they go to 64, which means they're -6 from Arsenal, who are at 70. I think
Arsenal needs to start losing, bro.
I think it's
in the Prem.
I think it's all on Arsenal's cards because if Arsenal, how they usually do it, they'll bottle the league. But with a 6-point advantage and with the opponents you have that are quite favorable to say the least, you got to bring, because if you don't bring it home this year, when are you going to bring it home?
Yeah. Yeah, international break coming up. Carabao Cup just happened. Man City takes it. FA Cup still going on. Mm-hmm. Arsenal will have to play in that in a couple weeks. They're going to be taking on Southampton. Obviously, then they're going to be taking on Sporting. But Arsenal's games coming in the Premier League will be by no means easy. They first have Bournemouth, which
they've given them some trouble in the past.
Bournemouth always puts up a tough fight. Then they go back to play Sporting again, and then they have to play City at the Etihad, April 19th. Then they have to play Newcastle.
I think that favors them.
Yeah, it does, but Newcastle always fights. They're not going to roll over and die. Fulham, yeah, it kind of favors them. Going to play at West Ham.
Never been easy.
Not easy.
Especially that West Ham needs to save themselves.
And, yeah, I mean...
Burnley and Crystal Palace are kind of cakewalk games.
Those should be wins, yeah. So it's a very, very, very important upcoming 5 fixtures in the Prem for Arsenal. We're going to be keeping an eye on them closely. We're going to be hate-watching because it's go Chelsea, go Blues. Oh, man, we are in the gutter, though. Before I get to Chelsea, though, I want to talk about Man City. Do you think Man City has what it takes? Let's say Arsenal does drop a couple games. City has the game in hand. Do you think they have what it takes to storm back?
Yes, easily. Yes. They've done it. Hey, listen, they've done it in the past.
They did.
And they pounced. When they won the treble, Arsenal was leading the league for over 200 some days. And Man City came back the last 5 games of the season and took the crown from them. Again, this title depends on how Arsenal acts. Because if Arsenal choke or they drop these relatively easy games, Man City can easily take this title away from them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I think
they don't just have Haaland up there. Semenyo is still high on that list.
Semenyo.
Man. They have guys that can put the ball in the back of the net.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have Cherky is up to 8 assists in the Premier League. He's not even a starter. He's good for second best.
Exactly.
Which is crazy to think about the progression of the game. Is how does he second with 8? But yeah, that's how it is. Bruno Fernandes up in first place at 16.
16? I thought it was 17.
We're gonna veer away from Manchester City, and we got to talk about Man U, man. How about this turnaround? Bruno has been there for years now. He's been there for time. He didn't always get the respect he deserved, but he's created more chances than anybody else in soccer history in his time at Manchester United. It has him above Messi. It has him above Ronaldo in their first X amount of games, whatever, how long he's been there, 300 or something like that, for games with their clubs respectively. I love Bruno Fernandes. I love watching this guy play. He puts his head down. He goes into tackles really hard. He always finds these perfect through balls that just, they get over the top or they get around the defender, and then they just slow down. They just die on the guy's foot. He has a real talent for that. I've been real impressed with Man United.
And the fact that he was playing CDM at the beginning of this year is a little crazy, too. But they did have a bad weekend and some controversy surrounding that game, too.
Oh, yeah, that's another reason why I wanted to bring that up.
Bournemouth, Man United 2-2.
Yep.
If you noticed, in the Amad Diallo play where he got, held and, he fell, I don't know how that's not called a pen.
That definitely should have been a pen. Later in the game, Harry Maguire picks up a red card, gives Bournemouth a penalty, which they convert to tie it 2-2. I tell you what, Luigi, that red card looked a lot like what happened to Amad Diallo in the box at the other end with a push up top. You're not in soccer. You're allowed to go shoulder to shoulder. You can bump guys. You can get lower than them if you want. You are not allowed to bring these arms up and start using them like this.
Exactly.
That's what happened to Diallo.
I will say the Maguire red, because the thing is, it's inconsistent because it's the Maguire red is there because granted he is last defender and he does pull him, but you can't. But then you can't, if you can't give that a pen if you deny that Ahmad chance, that's not a pen. You know what I'm trying to say? It's either you give that one a pen and then you call that a pen, or if you don't call that a pen, you can't call this one a pen.
Gotta call it both
You can't
ways.
can't be inconsistent with it, in one case it works, but in the other case it doesn't.
Big controversy surrounding that game. My personal opinion, Man United should have came out with that win, even though Maguire commits that foul late. And they get the ball and they score. You could make the argument that they should have been up in that game anyway. But look, I don't know. At the end of the day, I feel bad for Man U because I think they've been working really hard, and they probably should have won that game, and they're only going to get 1 point from it.
And when ref ball kicks in,
dude, ref ball. Oh my gosh. But, yeah, trust me, I know all about that, bro. Trust me, that UCL game against Barcelona. That is...
2009 with Drogba, it's a disgrace?
That is probably some of the most blatant worst officiating ever in the sport. Those that are listening, those that are going to see this later on, look up Barca versus Chelsea UCL final. 2009. UCL. Well, they haven't played in a final before. I don't know.
No, yeah. Semifinals.
Didn't we get them? Or no, we got...
Semifinals 2009 and 2012. The year that you guys won your first
Bayern?
Champions League. Who'd you guys face in the... Yeah, you faced Bayern.
We went back to play them the next year, I think, didn't we?
No. In 2012, you played Bayern, and then you won. The year after, you guys went to the Europa League, and then you won against Benfica. Then in 2021, you went and beat Man City. And then 2019, you beat Chelsea in the Europa League final as well.
Well, no, who do we beat in Europa League final? Not
2019 or 2013?
19.
Arsenal. 4-1.
Which I don't know if I remember that one. But yeah, for those that are at home wondering about corruption, there was a whole lot of it. There was that ref paying stuff that came out about Barcelona. Obviously, that game had to be included.
It had to be in the files.
Look up that game, that 09 game. It's it's horrible. It makes me sick even thinking about it.
Barcelona, Chelsea, 2009.
Yeah. And in 2019, that was okay. Willian. Yes. Okay, yes, I remember this game. Okay, yes. Hazard was unbelievable that game. Oh my gosh. Oh, I miss that guy every single day. Oh. Chelsea fall into 6th in the table. 3 losses and a tie in our last 5. Only 1 win in our last 5. Very poor time, a very poor performance, very bad time to turn in poor performances. Do you see Chelsea dropping even lower in the table?
Hey, listen, Everton and Brentford are... Brentford is -2 because they drew, and Everton also is -2
after beating us in the weekend.
From Chelsea.
Yeah. We never even had a shot in that game. We didn't even look like we went over the weekend. We played Everton. We went to Goodison Park and just got smoked 3-0. It didn't even look like the players wanted to be out there.
Can I say, like, you know what I think needs to change?
What's that?
You got to move Enzo back to DM.
Yeah, he's creating too much. Yeah, he's carrying too big of a load.
No, it's not even. And you have to move Palmer back to Cam. Palmer on the wing. You're not getting his best. You're not getting the best out of him.
It's not right. Yeah.
Like when Cole Palmer first, like 23-24, when he had like that 25-goal season and 15 assists, he was playing Cam.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that Chelsea fans do not rate Garnacho, okay? And I don't rate Garnacho either. But you need to put Palmer at Cam, move Neto to right wing, and then and put like Estevao or some on the other wing if you don't want to put Garnacho.
Estevao's class, man. I think it should probably be Estevao and Neto as our wingers. Estevao likes to cut in though, on his left. So they're both very left foot dominant. Neto used to use his right more. He really doesn't do it anymore. But either way, you're spot on with Cole Palmer having to move to the middle. The ball has not been on his foot enough in these games, and when it is there, he's forcing himself to try and create instead of playing the simple pass to get himself into the game. When he's in the middle controlling play, he's playing the simple pass, then all of a sudden he wakes up and now he's doing his thing. Enzo has too much of the ball right now. Caicedo has too much of the ball right now. Top tier player, my favorite player, Moise Caicedo. But he's not Conte-esque moving forward. He's great moving forward, but a lot of people want to say he's Conte-esque. He's not there yet. He's still the guy that gets you the tackle and wins the ball back when you need it. Let that be his role. I think we're too dependent on other guys that should be doing other things right now. The real story right now with the Premier League this year, the number one thing that I wanted to get on the air and talk about today. Bro, Tottenham Hotspurs, supposed to be part of the Big Six, dropped to 17th out of 20 teams in the Premier League. They are 1 point out of the relegation zone. The relegation zone is the bottom 3 teams. For those that don't know, they get pushed down to the division below, EFL Championship. Imagine if the 3 worst teams in the NBA got pushed down to the G League and then 3 G League teams came up, right? That would be extremely embarrassing for your club. And Tottenham, who just spent all this money
on that £100 £100 billion.
Yeah, I mean, this is supposed
stadium.
To be an
State
unbelievable place to play. It's supposed to be loud. The concessions, the seating's supposed to be so comfortable. It's supposed to be top tier marketing and branding. The stuff that they have up all around it, and they're able to like project cool things. That's going to be really cool for championship teams to come and play at.
They're gonna be playing against the likes of Millwall.
Bro, imagine.
I was watching this game because I was like, this will determine a lot of things. Like, this will answer basically every question about Tottenham's season.
Yeah.
Did you see the Tottenham fans behind, like, the scenes prior to the match? They were backing their team. Like, they hadn't done that in recent weeks, but they actually were going out and supporting their team, like, in the streets, setting off kind of like those like firework kind of things that they like throw on the pitch.
Yeah.
And like holding them up, trying to gas the team up. And I will say, like, and then a performance like that, like,
no response from the players. No response.
I'm not a Tottenham fan, but the players on this team
by no means
are an embarrassment to this club because the fans were backing you, and you have been an embarrassment for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
And then you put up a performance like that.
Back against the wall, all the support in your corner, 0-3 at home.
Only player that saves himself in that game was Matthias Tell. He was the only player who was showing some guts in that game.
Yeah.
He was the only player who was showing some guts.
Yeah.
Every other player should walk home. They shouldn't be able to take the bus back or drive their car home. They need to walk home because that kind of, like, I think I know the word in Italian. That kind of attitude that you're showing on the pitch is unacceptable, especially for where you guys are right now.
Yeah.
Injuries can be an excuse, but it's not that much of an excuse. It's 11v11, and you're at the bottom trying to stay up. But clearly, it seems like they're going to go down because they have no fight in them. They absolutely have no fight in them. Like, out of 31 games, Tottenham has won only 7, and they haven't won this calendar year.
No wins since it has
December 28th, 2025
Yeah,
against
that's right.
Crystal Palace.
That's right. Yeah.
They have the worst home record in the league with only 2 wins at home, 4 draws, and 10 losses.
Piling it on, man.
Like how do you want to stay? Like, how do you want to stay?
Oh my
up?
gosh. Can I quote the Men in Blazers? That's so Spursy. There's only one team in the league that can pull off this level of absolute, well, I won't say that word. There's only one team in the league that can pull off this level of tomfoolery. And it's not Chelsea. For once, it's not Chelsea. It's Tottenham. Who has worse center backs? Tottenham. Mickey Van de Ven. They've had to move him to the left because he literally can't defend.
More like Mickey can't defend.
They had to move him outside to the left because he wanted to keep dribbling forward. Every time you give him the ball, he just boots it down the field. Yeah. It's very, very poor. Goals coming for the aforementioned Igor Jesus, Morgan Gibbs-White, and watch this, Taiwo Ewoni. I'm really good at that. I'm really good at his name.
You want to know something funny about the Morgan Gibbs-White goal?
What's that?
So, you know Fabrizio Romano, his classic catchphrase, "Here we go."
Here we go. Yeah.
Morgan Gibbs-White was actually supposed to be a Tottenham player. There was the "Here we go" for it, but then like Mariaki's the Nottingham Forest owner said no to the move after I guess it was almost complete.
He saved him from years of pain.
So now Gibbs-White, months down the line, almost put the nail in the coffin.
They basically
with that
did.
Goal.
They basically did. I don't see a way for Tottenham to avoid relegation. I think you made a great excuse me, I'm trying to type something at the same time as speak, and I just almost said the word that I'm typing. You ever do that? That happens all the time. You made a great point bringing up the flares in the street, the chanting. Vibes were supposed to be at an all-time high. If they can't perform during that kind of atmosphere, I don't think they can perform at all, dude.
I will say there were at times in the game where they had gone a bit unlucky.
Yeah, but 3-0.
Exactly.
Not one goal, 3-0, and all 3 coming in the second half.
Oh no, the first goal was in the first half. It was
really?
Towards the end of the first half, Igor Jesus scored off a corner kick.
Okay, it must have been yeah.
Yeah, then the second 2 came in the second half. But if you want to even go down the schedule they got,
not easy.
Sunderland,
easy.
Sunderland, and you got to go play at Sunderland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunderland right now 11th, but they won their last game at the weekend. They're not too bad.
Then they got Brighton at home.
Who's better than Nottingham.
Exactly. Then they got to go to Wolves, which won't be easy because top clubs have drop points there.
Wolves has 3 wins this season. If Wolves beats Tottenham, I'll throw a party.
Then Aston Villa away. Then you have Leeds at home, who are basically in the same position as you. Then I feel like this might be your glorious day because maybe even if Chelsea have a bad season, you could relegate them this day.
That would be amazing.
Chelsea, Tottenham, and then the last game, Tottenham, Everton. If you're not pulling results against the teams where you're at,
Wolves, Leeds, you need to pull those results.
You need to get at in these last 7 games, you need to at least get 3 wins
minimum.
Even two, because you get their point total is 30. You get to 36, you should be all right.
Minimum 3 though, because they literally have to beat Wolves and Leeds.
They need to grind out results. Or else we're gonna see it.
Yeah.
The Big 6 going down. Then
just looking at this is crazy, man. Seeing them all the way down here,
Like-
Leeds and Nottingham right above them. It's unbelievable. I mean, their form has dropped off unbelievably. No, it's difficult to see a team that, when my youth was always good, was always fighting against Chelsea for that UCL spot. You know, I loved guys like Heung-min Son. I loved guys like Harry Kane, and before them
they had Moussa Dembele,
Lamela and
Eric
Moussa Dembele.
Lamela,
I mean,
Lloris, Trippier. Like, they had a good quality of players.
The partnership of Vertonghen and Alderweireld, like, they were
Alder-
strong for a long time. But
Ryan Sessegnon, Danny Rose. Yeah, we can even go back, like Gareth Bale,
yeah,
Peter Crouch. Like,
Tottenham is notoriously a club that has electric players. This year they have none,
Luka Modric.
and they're looking like they're going down. A young Luka. They had a
young Luka Modric.
Yeah.
Greatest center mid of our generation, by the way.
You think so? He's number one?
Yeah.
That's probably a good pick. I like that pick. He's got the resume, no doubt.
Yeah.
Bro, and the outside the foot. So good at the swaz. So good at the swaz. But hey, look, that's our piece on Tottenham. We're gonna come back after this break. We're gonna cool off a little bit. We'll wrap up the kickoff. But folks, don't go anywhere. We got Tate McRae coming right up. This is a shout out to that man, Gavin. Tit for tat here on 98.5 WNUW LP Aston. You are listening to the Kickoff with ONN Luigi. That was Tate McRae. We're playing that for Gav. Shout out to him. He loves Tate McRae. And we talked about her on Tic Tac Tune, his music show only on New Media. Head over to the YouTube and check out New Media to see a fun little game show coming soon. That's right. Exciting news, Luigi. Luigi's a big music guy. He's also a big Italy guy. My man Pots and Pans loves the Serie A. What Serie A news do you have for us? Were there any big things happening over the weekend?
Now that you mentioned Italy, I want to talk about the Italy national team.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was looking at the players they called up.
Uh-huh. Happy or no?
Absolutely not.
No, he's not happy.
First of all, why do we need 4 goalkeepers when Donnarumma is going to be the only one who's playing?
Literally the only one.
Like, call up some other players. Like, the only thing I could say that maybe is good is, like, our defense. But, like, 3 of these players are bench warmers. They're not even, like, granted, we have at least, like, 4. We have, like, 11, like, defenders called up. And, like, 3 of them aren't even starters. So, you know, I doubt, you know, much. But the midfield, like, 3 of these players are terrible. They're not even, like, Cristante is 35. He's over 30. Why is he in our midfield? Fratesi, bench warmer. Pisilli, bench warmer. Like, where do you want to go with this? Then the attackers. Chiesa doesn't play. Esposito, bench warmer. Moise Kean, been inconsistent.
Dude.
Politano, trash. Raspadori, not even a starter. Retegui doesn't even play in a top 5 league. He's in, like, one of the Middle East countries.
Retegui is not good.
And Scamacca, our one good striker, got injured.
Oh.
He got injured. Like,
Poor Gianluca. Gianluca. Oh my gosh.
Like, what? Like, my thing is, listen, with all due respect to my fellow Italians, let's not go to the World Cup because we're only going to make we're gonna be a joke. There is no ambition with this team. Absolutely zero ambition. Like, the one video says, there is no passion, there is no vision, there is no aggression,
Yeah,
there is no mindset in this football club. Like, this team is garbage.
Yeah.
I really hope we don't. Like, I really hope on Thursday when we play against Northern Ireland, not Ireland, Northern Ireland, we lose. Because this team is putrid. We do not deserve to go to the World Cup with a roster like that. This team is absolute piss.
Almost. He almost got one out there. We have France atop their group at the moment. Italy tied with them, but behind 1 on goal differential. The European qualifiers are still going on. As Luigi mentioned, there is a big one coming up with Northern Ireland. You cannot be too excited for that, though, as we have last one out. It was a big loss to Norway, 4-1. And here, tell me what you see when you look at the Italian national team. There's a lot of problems with you're talking about the guys they're bringing up. You're not happy with some of the signings. Maybe they can do a little bit better. Talk a little bit about the product on the field, because I could write a book about the style of play that the United States has and why it has been the same for the last couple seasons, last couple years. Because for the longest time, it was just bad. We could not adapt to European football. But talk to me a little bit about the Italians' style of play and what you want to see more of.
It's super stagnant. It's focused on defense, and it's so pragmatic. The main issue is we don't have a proper number 9. Like back then, we had players like Francesco Totti, Luca Toni, Alessandro Del Piero, Filippo Inzaghi. Now we have players like I listed, Esposito, Retegui. Retegui's not actually Italian. He's Argentine. So we're having players that aren't even from our country just because, like, do you remember Jorginho?
Of course.
He's not Italian. He's Brazilian.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Jorginho's going through a little bit of thing on social media with Chapel Roan right now because he took his kid to a concert of hers because he's a Giant fan. Saw them at a restaurant after, and the child wanted to go say hello. Chapel Roan ordered the bodyguards to go scold the child and the family because, well, she's a person. She's out to eat. You shouldn't bother her. Yes, screw Chapel Roan, dude. She's over the top there. But yes, Jorginho. All of this happened in Brazil. He's Brazilian now.
Like. It's just, and even like the midfield call-ups, like I agree with like Barella because I think he's a top-class player. But like half of our midfield options don't start. Like how can you call up even some of the striker options or our attacking options? They're not starters. How are you going to call up players who don't play?
Yeah.
Like what ambition do you have if you're going to call up bench warmers that don't play? And when they do play, they maybe get 20 minutes. Where's the ambition? Like,
doesn't look like there's enough out there for your squad right now.
Like, and the thing is, like, against Estonia, we won 4-5, and 2 of those were own goals that we gave to Estonia. We focus on defense, but we're giving up 4 to Estonia. We gave up 3 to Norway once, then we gave them 4 to Norway.
Yeah.
Like, our defense is supposed to be our strong suit, but we leak goals. Like I'm not trying to, listen, I apologize for yelling. But I'm just
no, it's perfectly fine, man. This is one of the only sports where people actually get passionate about. The NBA is a joke, the NFL is a joke, right? Soccer in America still kind of a joke. It's not quite there yet. The Philly Union, the ownership is a joke, horrible. Probably the worst owners in the MLS. Terribly run team, putrid and disgraceful. So that's that for the Union. I got that out of my system. But and all that is true, so it feels good to say that. But listen, this is the sport about passion. You're allowed to get into it. I understand.
No, I understand. There's just so much wrong with Italy, and I don't think. Listen, I generally think it's best if they don't qualify, if they make it good, but they're just gonna make a joke out of themselves if they go.
Yeah, I mean the heart and soul of that team, Nico Barella, your number 8, holding it down in the middle. If he plays well, I think people around him could play well, but he is involved in this next thing I wanted to ask you. We're going to finish off the show here with a little rank these players. Okay. I have a fun list here, and I think 1 and 2 are pretty darn clear. Okay. But
let me hear.
Rank these midfielders, right? They're all 8-ish, 10-ish players. They box to box for the most part. From 1 to 5. 1 being the best player, 5 being great player, but doesn't hold a candle to the other 4.
Gotcha. Okay, let's see.
Enzo Fernandez, Nico Barella, Vitinha, Bruno Fernandes, Pedri.
All right. I hate to do it to you. At 5, I got to put Enzo. Listen, it's just for me, it's the price tag. Yeah. And I hear people always criticizing him. Yeah.
It's the price, yeah.
It's I always hear people criticizing that $120, $130 million price tag. How he sometimes has a good performance, then he drops off.
If we got him for 70 or less, it would have looked, or 60 or less.
It would have looked better.
It would have looked like a bit of a bargain, but yeah.
But
yeah, bloated price. I feel you.
Yeah, I don't I think he's a good player. I just don't think that price tag for him is just way too much, and I just don't think for the output of 120, 130 million is really not there.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, bro, it's probably João Neves ahead of him too.
Yeah. At 4,
I thought about throwing him in.
The options were Barella, Fernandez, Vitinha, and Pedri.
Correct. Yeah, okay. I didn't put Valverde in because right now he's just. I gotta say he's probably the best right now. Yeah. I didn't throw him in.
At 4, you called me controversial, Bruno Fernandes. Listen, I know.
Really?
I know the stats. Like 5, 6 goals and 16 assists. But Bruno hasn't always been that good. He's been good, but not always like that. You know, he's been criticized.
His team didn't finish his chances.
His team didn't finish his chances, but when I watch Bruno, it's like the Man United management wanted him out multiple years as well. Like last year they wanted him out.
They don't know anything.
True, but a lot of fans wanted him out.
A lot of fans were unhappy.
Like a lot of fans were unhappy with him. And he's bouncing back for sure.
Oh, for sure. He's having a great year.
And he's gaining, the trust of the fans again. But I just don't believe that,
he's as good as those other three.
He's as good as those other three.
Yeah, I got you.
And then...
So we got Enzo at 5. We got Bruno at 4. This leaves you Vitinha. This leaves you Barella. This leaves you Pedri.
I put Barella at 3.
Okay.
He's recently, actually later, I wanted to, touch a little bit on the Serie A and, the
definitely.
whole situation because, there's some little bit of, bit of a turn, a little bit. I put Barella in 3 because I think, consistently always getting you like 5 and 10 a season, bit of a, or at least 3 and 9, 3 and 10, 3 goals, 10 assists. He's always getting you double digit, GA. But even he is the main guy, and he's been the main guy in that Inter midfield since 2019 when he first signed. He is Italy's best midfielder since that time as well. I think, without him as the engine, Inter and the Italy national team would lose a lot.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have, they wouldn't have reached the heights without him. They would be stagnated or regressed. And, he plays week in, week out. He's beloved by his fans. They don't want him out. I mean, granted, I'm pretty sure he's also an Inter fan, but that's unrelated. But I would personally, if I had to pick in my team, I put Barella there. Then the last 2 options, Vitinha and Pedri. Oh God,
Yeah.
I would put Pedri number 1, but I can't.
But he can't do it.
I can't do it. He's always injured, and that just takes it away from me.
Okay.
Listen, with all due respect, I really rate Pedri. And I've rated him since his first season at Barca during the COVID season. And that's probably why he's not as consistent, because in that year he played over 70 games for club and country. That's probably why he's been experiencing a lot of injuries.
They rode him hard. Yeah,
exactly.
They really did.
And, I mean, they didn't have many other options.
No, they didn't. Bro, remember? Oh, my God, COVID Barca, bro. And a couple of years after. Dude,
they had Arturo Vidal in the midfield. Arthur, Braithwaite,
Oh, man. Good
Pedri is a really good midfielder. Yeah, I just think if he can stay healthy for a consistent string of matches, like for a good season, 20, 30 matches straight, maybe pick up a little knock, miss 2-3 games, not a month of games, he could easily be number 1. Yeah. But number 1, Vitinha.
Vitinha's been money. He's been so good.
The fact that Vitinha not too long ago was playing for Wolves in the Prem and not even playing for them.
Yeah, that's just so hard. That's just so hard for me to think about. Has he always had this ability inside of him, and Nuno just didn't see? Or it's hard for me to grapple with that. I mean, because Pedro Neto, we saw the player he was at Wolves. He ran up and down the wing. He pressed the back line. Does the same thing at Chelsea. At Wolves, Vitinha, they played him a little more advanced in the field. They played him further up. He didn't really create as much. He was good on the ball. Hard to take off the ball, but this move to PSG,
has transformed them. But when you have a manager like Luis Enrique who's played in the midfield,
he knows how to unlock these.
He knows how to unlock.
Yeah.
Look, Enrique is generally a super underrated head coach, and I think he should be rated higher because, hey, listen, he's won 2 trebles, not 1 but 2.
2 trebles,
and he was right about Mbappe. Have you ever seen the interview that he gave with Mbappe where he said, you need to track back, you need to help the team out? Mbappe, if you notice, never won anything with PSG. He leaves PSG win the UCL.
Yeah.
Real Madrid, the year before, Mbappe joined, they won. The year after, they don't win it. I think Luis Enrique
Pattern recognition from the man Luigi. I like that. Yeah.
Like he got Ousmane Dembele a Ballon d'Or because he utilized him in the false nine and wing roles.
We had never seen Dembele handle that much pressure before, and he handled it tremendously.
Exactly. And look what he did. I mean, for once he wasn't in the IR getting like injured, and you saw because he helped the team out because Enrique said it himself. I prefer 4 players who score 12 goals than 1 player who scores 48 goals.
Every time. Yeah, that is an astute point. Every single time. It also the vibe of PSG that we're gonna come after you. We're gonna break your leg. We're gonna press you till you die, and then we're gonna press you some more. Like that attitude. It starts with the manager. It comes from the manager. It starts with the back line. Pacho imposing his will, playing every game and imposing his will.
Underrated player.
Moving up to the midfield, Vitinha and João Neves, perfect partnership, and it speaks to Vitinha's greatness. He's been able to create so much in that midfield for them, and he's a big part of their success. Yeah. Okay, so we got Vitinha, we got Pedri. We have Barella,
Bruno, and then Enzo.
And then Enzo. And if João Neves was in there,
I'd put him second, or probably second or third.
I think he's right with Barella. I think he's still young, time to improve. He could be the best midfielder in the world someday. Oh yeah. But I think it's still some room to improve for João Neves. Yeah, for sure. Maybe 3 or 4 on that list. Yeah. And obviously Valverde, we're saying, is just number 1 right now. Yeah. But real quick before we finish it off. Fiorentina, we talked about them last week having a not so great season, but Inter, the last 3 games, have now lost, draw.
Which opens
drew Fiorentina in a controversial game over the weekend.
Which draws me to this. A couple weeks ago, my team Napoli was -14 and Milan was -10, roughly like that. Mm-hmm. Now it's only -6 and -7 after. Well, we won against. Oh my! Don't do that.
Sorry.
Go ahead. You're good. Cagliari, Napoli, we won 1-0. You know, we did what we had to do, and then Milan beat Torino 3-2. Then Inter, if they had won this game, they would have gone +9 and +8, but they drew to 16th place Fiorentina.
Yeah, and both Milan and Napoli won. And Como won over the weekend.
Como won.
Big swing. It's a big swing for them.
R.I.P. to one of the Hartono brothers. One of them had died over the weekend.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Dude, we talked about Como the last episode. Really intriguing club. Really intriguing. Yeah. For sure.
5-0. And, dude, they've locked up. Like, they haven't locked up, but they're in 4th right now. Because Juventus at the weekend dropped points.
Yep.
And a penalty, I'll say this, VAR again not being good. Because they gave Juventus an imaginary penalty in that game. How, like, the Juventus player is pulling...
Strong claims from Luigi.
The Juventus player is pulling the Sassuolo players, whole shirt. And they call it a handball on the Sassuolo player when the ball doesn't even touch the player's arm. I don't know what graphic they were looking at. It didn't even touch it. Justice was served because then, they missed the penalty.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, it looks like both Vlahovic and Yildiz wanted, and Manuel Locatelli came over and was like, yo, move out of the way, little bro. I'm taking this.
Well, he's been their penalty taker this entire season, anyway. So
yeah, but it begs the question, why don't you give that to one of the other guys? Hey, by the way, Kenan Yildiz, what a player. Oh, yeah. He needs to get out of there. He needs to get out of Juventus because right now, Juventus, not necessarily Chelsea in the terms of youth at the club, not necessarily Chelsea in terms of style of play, but big spending with little return. Yeah, that's a common theme. A team that should be top 4 and isn't quite there. Another common theme with those two clubs.
Yeah, they also I'll say this. I don't think he leaves because they recently had him sign a new contract to 2030 and giving him big money. Yeah. Unless some 100 million offer comes in for him, then I think
he's stuck. Then
I think he's stuck.
I didn't know that contract was through 2030. Man, that's
they
or Yildiz. What a player on FIFA, by the way.
Yeah, he's a good player. But even like Juventus, like I personally enjoy this drop off because I don't like them.
Yeah, I know. That's
But
what
like
I'm saying.
the thing is, like I've been noticing they're spending like Luis Openda, like old Leipzig striker, spend him 40 million.
That's a lot of money for him.
Only has 1 goal and he doesn't even start.
Doesn't start. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Jonathan David that they picked up on a free, 7 million a season, only 3 goals. Like
Yeah.
4. Actually, I think it's like 5 goals, 6 goals.
Yeah.
You know, it's Juventus used to buy some of the best players, not just in the Serie A, but in like from the Prem. Like, they used to spend like 70, 80 million on actual good players. Now it's just, they've been spending on some really questionable signings.
I mean, I hate to say it, but like if I had a team in the Serie A, it would be them. My Dybala jersey's in my closet. It's the one with when it was the black and the white with the pink stripe
2019,
down the middle.
2020, yeah.
Yeah, that one
You
was
were
sick.
to class one time, I remember.
I did? Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, I used to be a big Dybala guy, and a couple years before that, I was using them
Like on FIFA?
all the time.
Yeah.
Douglas Costa on one wing, Juan Cuadrado on the other wing.
And
You couldn't stop me.
They had players like Higuain, Mandzukic, Pogba,
Bro, in the midfield, Miralem Pjanic.
Pjanic.
One of the most underrated. He was a great box-to-box player.
What a pull, yeah.
He was a great spot kick taker from the Bosnia-Herzegovinian. That's what he was. He's a Bosnian guy.
Great free kick taker too.
I loved Miralem Pjanic. And what a name, too, Miralem. You just don't really see names like that anymore.
Yeah.
But Juventus has had some fun players, but this drop-off, man, it's very similar to what's going on with Chelsea. Both the teams that I like, they're doing the same thing.
But I just want to, keep an eye on the Serie A title race because a couple weeks ago, it was swinging towards Inter. Now, I don't have my hopes entirely up, but you never know. Like, they choked last year, and we took advantage of that.
You guys and Milan, AC Milan,
Yes.
are in better form than Inter right now.
Indeed.
And that's a scary thing for Inter. We were talking about Barello. I just read something that, Inter plays good. He's praised. Inter plays poorly. They get on Barella. So he's another guy that's going to be taking a lot of the flack right now. But that's going to do it for us. This rendition of the Kickoff will be up on YouTube soon enough. Please tune in every single Monday, 3 to 4 p.m. I'm also on the air on Fridays, 3 to 4 p.m. Same time slot, usually talking NBA then. But Luigi, anything else before we wrap it up and get out of here?
Forza Napoli.
Forza Napoli. Yeah, and come on, Chelsea. That's what I'm saying. We're going to end it with Talk by Bia Badoobie. That's right. It's my favorite song by this girl, so I had to make sure that we had it in the radio station. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your Monday.